Welcome to the Financial Quarterback with your host, Jim Lineweaver.
Hi, I'm Jim Lineweaver, your financial quarterback since 1993. Today's show is making sure you coordinate all your financial, tax, legal, and insurance to save you time, money, and worry. We have our special guest, Mark Cypus. He's the head of our tax division. Mark has spent over 30 years in both the private client and corporate tax strategies, really helping a lot of people out. So thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
You know, recently a couple had come to us, and unfortunately he had had some terminal cancer, but you ended up doing a lot of research and saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe you can go into a little more detail.
Sure. We made sure, working with the professionals that we have at Lineweaver and also with his employer, we were able to immediately kick the pension benefit into him. So that way, if something did happen to him, the survivorship would kick into the wife. And instead of getting half of that, she would get the full amount of the pension benefit, which would end up being about $1 million over her lifetime.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so we also coordinated with the legal team to make sure that we not only coordinated the powers of attorney for healthcare and for financial, we also did their wills, and we had to make sure all these legal affairs and beneficiaries were in proper order. But it was also critical because he was in a high-risk occupation. What the attorneys did is they made sure that he really had no assets in his name, and that really helped out as well.
Absolutely, especially they had student loans from 3 children of about $140,000. So we worked with him to make sure those student loans were only in his name. That way, when he did pass away, the federal student loans would kick in and pay them off for them, forgive the debt.
That's a lot of debt forgiveness.
Yes,
but
I
understand there's another kind of wrinkle in the situation when you get debt that's forgiven.
Yes, the IRS looks at that forgiveness debt as taxable income to the family. So that $140,000 that they didn't have to pay back is now included in her taxable income at the end of the year, which would have cost about $40,000 in federal and state taxes. So I coordinated with the estate attorney and an IRS collection agent, and we got our heads together and figured out that because the loan was only in his name, the IRS wouldn't be able to collect from him at that time.
Well, so not only did they give $140,000 of forgiveness for debt,
yes,
they also saved around $40,000 in taxes.
Correct.
That's a huge accomplishment for that family and really helps them out financially, and that was a big part of what you put together and all the research that you did.
Correct.
Well, this is why coordination can be so important, and this is where the financial quarterback steps in to really help you coordinate all your financial, tax, legal, and insurance to save you time, money, and taxes. So thanks for joining the show. We'll see you next week, and stay tuned for the Chris Wallace Show. Coming up next.